Wow, candy corn is that old?
What is that?
What is happening?
Is your house haunted, Blake?
Probably.
Greetings, creatures! I'm Rachelle.
I'm Kalie.
And I'm Blake.
And we are
Paranoia Percentage.
We're just three girls who are a little anxious about our world.
And if you don't know what we do here,
We're fascinated by cryptids, conspiracy theories, and pretty much everything weird.
Everything. All of it.
Everything. And today we're going to be talking about Halloween. It's October 1st.
It is for
Our
recording,
time.
yeah.
you guys are not going to get this for a little while.
No.
Definitely not on October 1st. I cannot edit that fast.
Me either.
Yeah.
I don't do anything with editing. And
Yeah.
just kind of do it.
I'm just kind of here.
No. You're the glue that binds us.
Am I,
The
though?
sticky caramel glue.
Ew.
You know what, though? Caramel. That means I'm sweet. Let's do this.
Exactly.
She just straight up called you sticky.
I mean, I am sticky. It's...
Ew, gross. Not going to wash this dress.
All right. Shall we?
We shall.
No, I have my face buried all the way into this mug. So like...
I'm just going to bury my face in this candy. So, we decided to have some candy out because it's about Halloween. Well, we count Halloween as October 1st.
Just Halloween is the
I started
entire month.
celebrating Halloween in September. So
Same.
I'm not going to pretend I didn't.
The
I
month
did.
of Halloween. Yeah, you got to prepare for the month of Halloween the
Right.
month before. Okay,
All
so
right. Oh my
today
God.
we're going to be talking about kind of the origins of Halloween, where it comes from.
Some of the traditions that are behind Halloween, kind of the origins
Yeah.
behind those, where we get our classic definition of Halloween today.
So I was looking into the history of Halloween, like what it started from, and I did not know that. I knew that it was All Hallows Eve, and it was like the day before. Sorry, the Hallows, the Deathly Hallows. Sorry,
The Deathly Yeah.
But I did not know that it begins a 3-day observance of All Hallowtide. I'd never heard of that. I didn't know it was a 3-day thing.
What's all Hallowtide?
It's the time in the liturgical year, which liturgical means of the church,
Yeah.
dedicated to remembering the dead. So like saints, martyrs, all the faithful. So no, it's actually very
okay.
religious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, pagan is a religion.
That's true. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. I knew what I meant, but it didn't come out my mouth right.
Yeah.
My brain works faster than my mouth does.
Mood.
A lot of people believe that the Halloween traditions originated from a couple of Celtic harvest festivals, such as, pronounce this for me, please.
Samhain.
Samhain, because I keep saying Samhain, and that's not correct.
Well, that's the U.S. pronunciation.
And I am an American through and through.
But the like old Celtic pronunciation is Samhain, because it's spelled like Samhain.
Yeah, it looks like Samhain.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's how Americans pronounce it.
Mhm.
But like in like the olden times, they pronounced it like Samhain, and in the
Ye
UK,
olden times.
and in the UK, they still pronounce it Samhain.
Okay. A lot of people
Shame.
believe, though, that Halloween began just as a Christian holiday, which is not true. But today's Halloween customs have been mostly influenced, most historians believe, by the Celtic-speaking countries. So Samhain and Calan. I looked up these pronunciations, which means the first day of winter, and that was celebrated in...
You don't just speak Gaelic?
I don't. I am of Gaelic descent. I should learn it, I guess.
It's pretty much
But
a
if by
dead
that
language.
definition I should also learn German, so
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
German is an incredibly difficult language to learn.
Ich liebe dich. That's the only thing I know in German.
Huh?
What did you call me?
I said I love you.
Aww. I love you too.
Okay, so Samhain and Calan have been mentioned in some of the earliest Welsh literature, Irish literature, Scottish literature.
Which is
so
from, like,
these are like
2,000
really,
years ago.
really old rituals, old holidays.
Yeah, from like originating
like before Christians existed,
2000s,
like pre-Christ,
like 2,000 years ago. Like when you think about that, it's 2020. Like it was like that's a long time.
This is a long time.
Before time existed. I'm just kidding.
Before time.
The land before time?
Yes. Yes, that was celebrated by the dinosaurs in the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
Of course.
Of course. Land before time.
And the cartoon is based off of fact. They have documentary
All
evidence.
cartoons are based off of fact.
Yes, exactly.
You know, sometimes I'm really scared that people don't realize that we're being sarcastic.
Oh.
If they're not here for the sarcasm, why are they here?
True.
I mean, why are you here? Go away.
We don't need your support or your donations or your anything.
Or your feedback or...
Yeah.
Donate first and then go away.
Give us your money and then leave.
Okay, so Colin
That was not
Gaff
the money side.
was the festival that marked the end of harvest and the beginning of winter, and that is when it was believed that was when the boundaries thinned between our world and the other world,
The spiritual
world, the world of the Fae. So Halloween is actually about fairies.
Not necessarily.
It was a joke.
Yeah, because like Fae is the description of basically like all supernatural supernatural creatures.
Yeah, they believed that was a easier time for them to cross over into our world and interact with us.
Yeah, and
Which is kinda cool.
It also includes ghosts, which is why
Does.
ghosts or spirits or something like that was kind of included into like our current definition of Halloween.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, because the word spirit, it includes ghosts, but it's also spirits that were never human entities.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've always found fae folk really interesting, which I don't mess with them because they're not something you mess with.
This is why you don't play with the Ouija board.
No,
you don't do any of that.
No, I mean, there are ways that they can say that you can safely do it, but like, I just don't mess with that at all.
I don't trust myself to do it safely, like in the right way.
No. Yeah, Samhain was actually like a super interesting thing.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Because they didn't like.
No, really, tell us about it.
like legit.
Because like actually the Celtic people like they really truly didn't believe that the spirits were there for like a good reason. Like they actually
Did they not believe that any of the spirits were good spirits? Were they just bad spirits?
No, it's not that they believed that they were good or bad. They believed, however, that they would damage crops. They would cause general trouble.
Kind of like how when you're playing The Sims and one of your dead Sims comes back as a ghost and like
Destroys
clogs your
things.
toilet or breaks your shower.
Yeah, destroys things. That's basically
Do you not play Sims?
I play The Sims free play, but they don't do the ghosts.
Oh
don't
yeah,
happen
oh yeah.
Sims free play.
In the pay for Sims 4, actually Sims 3 did it too. If you had a ghost, like someone who died on your lot, and you have their gravestone so that you can have their ghost there, they will come back and they'll like inhabit your toilet and break it.
You're a
and
ghost.
You'll have water shooting out of the toilet.
You're a ghost and you're invisible, so you can go anywhere in the world and do anything you want, but you spend that time
in a toilet.
clogging people's toilets.
Right, Moaning Myrtle did it too.
Yeah,
They should all emulate Moaning Myrtle because she was the best.
Yeah.
I mean,
but Samhain.
she was fun.
But yeah, basically the Celtic people, they were like, we don't want these spirits here. Like
Nope.
basically they would try to also ward off spirits, which was what you now consider to be the bonfire. So the bonfire actually originated from the sacred fire of Samhain.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So basically the Celtic people in their villages, they would hold this huge sacred fire. And people would bring stuff and they would put stuff into the fire to make as offerings towards those spirits or towards gods or anyone that can basically protect them during winter. And so druids, which are Celtic priests, they would put in the bones of cattle. They would put in cats in some cases. They would just sacrifice animals pretty much. And
It makes my heart hurt.
yeah, they would put cats in wicker baskets and then throw them into the fire.
While it's alive?
While it's alive.
Oh my god.
Yeah, as a sacrifice to the spirits.
Did Egypt teach you nothing? Don't mess with cats.
But well, I mean, that's actually why they would do it, because cats were considered to be very highly held in the spiritual realm, and so they would give cats back to the spiritual realm.
I've had cats my entire life. They can definitely see things I can't.
By putting them into the fire. And so, and getting back on druids, they believed that whenever, the Celtic people believed that on Samhain, which was October 31st or November 1st, it would basically blur, like you said, blur the lines between the spiritual realm and the human realm. And so whenever these spirits would come about, it would basically give them a better capability of predicting the future. So not only was it like a bad thing, like it was kind of like a bad thing for the spirits to be there, it also had a double purpose. So it would actually help like druidic people to better predict the future, pretty much.
Cool. We don't know nearly enough about the druids.
No, we really don't.
I don't know anything.
We really don't.
I don't mean we, I mean like the general we. Like the world just doesn't, there's just not enough information on them.
Yeah. But what I found to be really interesting, but getting back onto bonfires, that's why it's called a bonfire. Bone fire. And so they just put bonfire. They just combined it into one word. That's why, like, that's Halloween cool. Now we have, like, bonfires and everything.
We need to name it something else.
We do. So, yeah, that's why bonfires started. But what I also found to be really, really interesting...
Sparklewood,
so they would have hearth fires. Like, the Celtic people would have fires in like their homes and everything. Not only because it would keep them warm, but also because it's believed to protect the home from spirits. So
and that's the only way to cook things.
So
food is the most important thing.
Well, yes, but like, and so during that day, in the beginning of the day, they would actually put out their hearth fires, and so it's basically like renewing the hearth fire. They would go to the sacred bonfire and relight using a torch or something like that. They would use it from the sacred fire that they had, and they would use that to relight their hearth fires, because that's supposed to protect the home from negative spirits and everything during the winter months, which I found to be incredibly interesting.
That is very interesting.
And also, I have some things on why we wear costumes during Halloween.
Okay.
So basically, at this big bonfire thing, they would put on these costumes that would make them look like spirits of the dead or something like that, and people would give gifts to these people as offerings to this spirit. So that's why we wear costumes, that's why we do trick-or-treating.
Well, that's one possibility.
Yeah.
There is another possibility that I found as to why we wear costumes.
Souling, yeah.
No, actually, from around the 16th century, the festival of Colin involved people dressing in disguise, like mumming. They called it mumming.
Mumming?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. Did you read Game of Thrones?
No.
Okay. Did you watch Game of Thrones?
No.
Because they talk about like memory, like play acting.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably about the same thing.
Okay.
So it's like a ritualistic thing.
Yeah.
To act as if they are these spirits, so that then the spirits don't. They're like, oh, you're one of us. We're not gonna come after you.
Oh, okay. So they were kind of using it as like a protection thing.
Yep.
Okay.
To protect themselves. Yep.
Don't haunt me. I'm a ghost. Don't haunt me.
I am ghost.
For real though.
Don't haunt me. And the ghost goes, bruh, yeah, that's a ghost. Hey, guys, let's like not bug him.
Let's chill. Like, let's chill.
No.
It's not anything.
I just love the thought, because the 16th century, like England, like the thought of, like the old-fashioned kings and queens and whatnot, and people running around dressed up as.
Yeah.
There
was also a thing called souling back in the medieval times, where people like.
So that'd be what, like 1300s, 1400s.
Yeah, 1300s, 1400s. Basically, the poor would actually dress up in those costumes too, and they would dress up as like the dead, and they would go to different people's homes offering prayers for the dead in return for soul cakes.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. It was called souling. It's a really interesting thing.
This is why Halloween is my favorite holiday.
Oh yeah, there's a
so
bunch
much
of
cool stuff.
Then why hasn't it, kept up with, like, nobody goes to somebody's door and goes, trick or treat, here's a prayer, and do a prayer with them, and then get candy?
Probably because of the religion, the religious aspect behind it. Because also, another really interesting thing, so, okay, to get back to kind of the Samhain thing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, basically, in about 43 AD, the Roman Empire actually conquered... Yeah. The Roman Empire actually conquered the majority of the Celtic territories,
Mm-hmm.
which was like Ireland, northern France, and parts of what's currently considered the UK.
I think at France at that time, that part of France that was like Brittany, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
really Brittany.
No, it's
It was super Brittany.
but yeah.
from Brittany.
Oh, my food's a little Brittany. I gotta throw that out. Ugh.
But yeah, so the Roman
Sorry.
Sorry. So the Roman Empire basically conquered the majority of like the Celtic regions. And in about 400 years of them conquering the Celtics, 2 of their festivals were combined with Samhain to kind of
That makes
bring
sense.
even more of the traditions that we currently have.
The Romans did that a lot. Every time that they would conquer a culture,
Yeah.
they would like adopt that culture's customs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like kind of
which is like they'd adopt their gods.
in this case they wouldn't
Yeah.
even in this case they didn't even adopt anything. They basically just merged it with what the Celts already had. So they had the Romans before the Celtics, before they conquered the Celtics. They had the Celts, yes. They had 2 festivals that were already in like the November 1st, November 2nd, October 31st period. So the first one was called Feralia. I might be saying that wrong. I'm sorry if I'm butchering.
Right.
I'm sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation. But it was a day in late October, they don't know the exact day, to commemorate the dead. So basically it was kind of like, okay, well it makes sense to merge these 2 things together anyway, and they did that first. But then they realized that they could also put the day of Pomona onto those traditions as well.
Now, what's that?
The Pomona is a Roman goddess. She is the goddess of fruit and trees.
My kind of girl.
Something that is very interesting. The symbol of Pomona is an apple. So, during these
She
festivals
should
and
be
everything...
a mascot for Murfreesboro.
Murfreesboro, for those of you who don't live in the area that we do, Murfreesboro is a local town that has an apple festival. Murfreesboro Apple Festival is like the claim to fame.
Oh, it was the in one of our past videos, Rachelle and I had gone to an apple festival, not this past year, because I don't think they even really had one.
They
this
didn't
year.
have one.
But the one before that.
Yeah, they didn't end up having an apple festival this year. But yeah, actually, whenever they would have this huge festival thing, they would bob for apples. And so they would be basically honoring Pomona by doing this thing. And so that is where apple bobbing came from. Like bobbing for
I've never
apples.
done that. I've never bobbed for apples.
I have. It's so uncomfortable. Like my
I never
jaw,
wanted to be fair.
My jaw would always hurt so bad. Like
I don't like the idea of putting my face in water.
it's so comforting to me. That's the only part that I actually like about it.
I can't swim.
Because I was also that stupid kid at the pool that would literally just dunk their head in the pool.
I was the kid who didn't want to get her hair wet.
No, I was the one who was the opposite of that. I was like, no, get all of my hair in right now.
All of my hair.
So yeah, bobbing for apples on Halloween probably stems from the Festival of Pomona.
The other night, I wanted to do something fun with my rats. I got a little tray and I put some water in it, and obviously they're too little to bob for apples, and I wanted to do something like fallish with them. So the equivalent to their face size, peas. So I put some peas in the water, and they bobbed for peas. It was very cute.
That would be
You
cute.
should post a video of them bobbing for peas on the Facebook page so people can see it.
True.
Because I bet some of our listeners would really like that.
But the ones who aren't, or the ones who haven't heard this podcast would just be like, "That's random."
It's a random thing to be on.
I guess I could put it on the top, like, this is from, we talked about this during this episode. Or
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you guys would like to see that, right? It was really cute.
Oh, yeah. It was
very
adorable.
Cute. It was very cute.
So yeah, actually, like a lot of the traditions that we consider currently to be like Halloween is actually an amalgamation of like quite a few like traditions from like
And
the
we've
early
Americanized
Celts.
things.
Yeah,
here.
the early commercialized. Let's be real.
Americanized, commercialized, same difference.
Yeah. But yeah, so a lot of the traditions that have actually like kind of come into like the American version of Halloween actually stemmed from those three festivals of like the Celts and the Romans. If I could ever think, that would be nice. And also, another thing was that the early Christian churches, in order to get, it's going to sound awful, but in order to get a lot of pagans to convert to Christianity,
Yeah, that's true.
they took a lot of pagan holidays like Hallows Eve, and hang on, I wrote down the names.
That's the reason
I don't
want to
get this wrong.
on December 25th.
Is that why?
So, okay, Halloween is short for Hallows Eve.
All
Which
Hallows
is
Eve.
the holiday that the Christian church created in an effort to convert pagans was Hallows Eve, or All Hallows Eve. They decided that Hallowmas, or All Saints Day, which is on November 1st, and All Souls Day, which is on November 2nd, should resemble pagan holidays that originally fell on or around October 31st. And so originally it wasn't all blank, blank, blank. That actually stems from All Saints Day or All Souls Day, which were originally Christian holidays. So basically they combined those with like originally pagan holidays in order to encourage pagans to convert to Christianity. It's kind of like...
It's pretty typical of the Christian faith. I mean, we did that with a lot of
Oh,
holidays.
yes. Yeah,
That's
definitely.
the reason that Christmas is on December 25th, because Jesus wasn't born on December 25th.
Yeah.
And the whole egg thing for Easter, that was a pagan thing as well.
Because it's like, hey, so you know this like holiday that you guys have that's like very, very dependent for your religion? We're just going to take that so that you can convert to our religion.
But, like, America.
It's like weird. It's like, okay, that's a very cool thing for you to do. Let's just take somebody else's whole culture.
Yeah.
That's America for you.
Well,
But
it's a form of there's this I can't remember what it's actually called, but it's basically the third culture that's part of if you study like ethnography or whatever, studying cultures or anything like that. You take culture A and culture B and put them together and it creates a whole different one. It's no longer B and it's no longer A and it's not really amalgamation. It's a whole other one. So that's kind of like what has happened with a lot of, Christianity versus paganism, and put them together and it's a totally different subset of cultural traditions and ideals and things like that.
yeah.
I forget what it's called.
Anthropology?
Well, I mean, it's within that. It has but there's like a
Like
name.
the subset.
There's like a name for third culture. It could just be called third culture. I don't remember, but either way, that's pretty much what's going on with these.
Yeah, with like Halloween, Christmas, like a lot of things that we now consider to be like our holidays. It's like they had iffy beginnings. As do most things in this country. But
So we talked about where the costume tradition comes from, where
Yeah.
bonfires come from. You had a tradition.
Oh, for I have kind of the origin as to why we do jack-o'-lanterns.
Okay. I don't know this. I'm very interested to hear about that.
Okay, so first of all, jack-o'-lanterns, the idea of it originated in Ireland, and at first they used turnips and potatoes.
I'm instantly like, yeah.
Okay, so it first started with this dude named Stingy Jack, literally Stingy Jack.
mood.
And
He sounds like a super old guy. It's just like
See, my cat's name is Jack, so
all
I'm
of
seeing
these
his
are-
face.
See, it doesn't say, as far as I found, it doesn't say if he's an old dude, but it does say that he lives up to his name, that he's very stingy. Yeah, he's a stingy dude.
You know who I'm picturing? The old guy from oh my god, what is it called? I was just in this play, A Christmas Carol. That's who I'm picturing in my brain
Ebenezer
right now.
Scrooge?
Yes.
Except for
okay.
That's who I'm picturing.
This guy was more of a trickster. He wasn't really like, I just got to hold on to my money and not give it out. It wasn't really like that. It was more just like he found ways to con people. Okay,
Like
so yes, kind of like Loki. Yes, he's more of a Loki type. So, Stingy Jack.
These are so good. I'm sorry.
Ghirardelli, man. Stingy Jack.
Stingy Jack invited the devil himself to have a drink with him.
That wasn't smart.
He did get his golden fiddle stolen, though.
Did this meeting take place in Georgia?
No.
Oh.
It took place in Ireland.
Georgia, Ireland?
Georgia,
Is there a Georgia, Ireland?
No. I don't know. I don't think so.
So, okay. Stingy Jack invited the devil himself to go have a drink with him, but Stingy Jack didn't want to pay for his drink.
Of course not. He was stingy.
He's stingy. So he, being the trickster he is, he convinced the devil to turn himself into a coin that Jack could use to pay for the drinks. All right, so the devil turned himself into a coin.
How do you figure out how to...
I don't know that. I don't know. He's just like very talented con dude.
I want a script right now.
It's very tricky. So the devil turned himself into a coin, and Stingy Jack did not use that coin, the coins to pay for the drink. He just pocketed it and left and didn't pay for the drink. So he walked out with the devil in the form of a coin in his pocket. And for some reason, because the coin was in his pocket, the devil couldn't escape from that form and turn into his regular form. He could not get out of the pocket, and he needed to be out of the pocket to retain his normal shape. Oh yeah, that was also because Stingy Jack decided to put a silver cross in the pocket with him.
Oh,
okay.
So I was like, why
left
couldn't
that
we get out of the pocket? That's silly.
So,
the devil just really hates confined spaces. He's claustrophobic. Can you believe
the
it?
devil's like, it's too little in here. I can't.
The walls are closing in.
Okay. So
We're not making fun of claustrophobic people,
No,
by the way.
I'm claustrophobic.
Stingy Jack told the devil, "All right, I'll let you out, so you can turn into your regular form, but you have to make a promise with me. In order for me to let you out, you cannot bother me or come after me for a whole year." And the
I
devil,
think I would have bargained for more than a year.
yeah, he bargained for a year.
Bargain for the rest of my life.
Yeah, but how long is your life going to be at that point?
True. The devil is
So-
tricky like that.
There was like 24 hours.
You
Gotcha.
couldn't bother him for a year, and also part of the deal was that if he died within that year, the devil could not claim his soul, no matter what. And the devil agreed to this, so he would let him out. So he let him out eventually, but for whatever reason, when he did let him out,
I got a
Okay.
chill. I'm sorry. I itched my ear and it went.
the devil's like, "Are you talking about me?"
True.
It went
Okay.
ASMR for a second.
Or I would have come up like this. Okay, so
It can hear you better when you do that, actually.
maybe I should just talk like this the whole time.
Yeah. I dig it.
Let's all do it. This is the AMR section of the episode. Okay. So, after the devil was let out of the pocket, somehow, Stingy Jack convinced him to go up into a tree and get a fruit for him.
What kind of fruit?
It doesn't say.
Probably an apple. Pomona.
Probably a Murphy'sboro apple.
Or a
Okay.
pumpkin?
No, just a fruit.
Pumpkins
So,
don't grow on trees, Rachelle.
The devil being, for some reason, he's just letting himself be bullied by this guy.
Right.
The devil was convinced to go up into the tree to get a fruit for Stingy Jack. He should be called Persuasive Jack.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, he carves a cross into the bark of the tree while the devil's up in the tree, so the devil couldn't get down from the tree.
God, Stingy Jack is just a bully.
He's just a bully, poor devil.
I know.
And he said, "Devil, you can't come down from the tree until you promise me not to bother me for 10 years. And the devil decided, okay,
It
I won't
can't
bother
hear you.
The devil decided. The devil decided.
It did make the
okay,
sound waves go up quite a bit.
I promise I won't bother you for 10 years. And if you die, I will not claim your soul for 10 years, within that 10 years if you pass away. And so Jack let him down from the tree. I'm not totally sure how he did that because he carved a cross into the bark. I don't know if he just
Maybe he
He
like
could just,
scratched
like,
it off.
yeah.
stuffed it with mud.
No, he probably shaved it off. scratched
Okay,
it
that
out.
would
Yeah.
make sense. Yeah.
Maybe he
But-
didn't carve it super deep.
He somehow, he somehow got the cross off the tree
Mm-hmm.
so that the devil could come down. Jack did die within that 10 years. He died soon after. God would not allow him into heaven because,
He made a deal with the devil.
well, that and he's also just a bad person.
Yeah.
And the devil wouldn't let him into hell because the devil's like, I told you I can't claim your soul for 10 years and you died within the 10 years. So instead, Jack had no choice but to end up roaming the earth. And he could only light his way with some kind of lantern. So he put a burning coal, into a carved out turnip that he found. And he just roams around the earth with the carved out turnip. So what that turned into was what the Irish called Jack of the Lantern, which turned into Jack-o'-lantern. And
Which then turned into Jack Skellington.
Probably.
yeah.
I mean, because you think about, like, he's not in heaven. He's not in hell.
That's true. That's probably where that came from. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to ask Tim Burton.
Hey, hang on.
Call
Where's
him
my
up.
phone?
Call him up.
Where's my phone?
Yeah, so people would make their own jack-o'-lanterns, but they would like carve scary faces into turnips and potatoes. And mostly any large ones that they
What
found, they would
can't
carve them
you
out
use
and then put
potatoes
scary
for?
faces into them.
I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I'm doing that now.
Sometimes they would be carved out. Sometimes they wouldn't have any light in them, but when they were carved out, they would put some light in there so it would shine through the faces. Mostly this was to frighten away Stingy Jack because they just didn't want Stingy Jack to come around their homes and
I don't
other
know them. I wouldn't
other
either.
wandering spirits, but mostly him. And when the Irish immigrants brought the tradition to the United States, to America, they then began to carve pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns because pumpkins are native to Central America and Mexico. So now they're in like 6 different countries, but at the time they were native to here. So They found that pumpkins were obviously much bigger, much easier to carve out, make scary faces into them, and put like lights and stuff into them. And so the folklore about Stingy Jack was quickly incorporated into Halloween, mostly because of the All Saints Day. But some people still use turnips and potatoes, but for the most part, we generally see it with pumpkins, at least here in the States.
Absolutely make some potato jack-o'-lanterns.
I have potatoes.
That would be hard to do, I feel. That would just take a lot of time. There's a reason they switched to pumpkins.
That's fair.
I'm going to do it with turnips, and then I'm going to hang the turnips from, like, my front way.
I don't think I've ever eaten a turnip. I don't like pumpkins. I don't like the taste of pumpkin.
Oh, I love pumpkin.
Have you guys seen some old pictures of turnip jack-o'-lanterns?
No.
They are scary. Look that up. Okay. And I'll put a picture up on the video here. If you guys are just listening, go Google that.
So now for some just random facts that I found.
Yeah.
Okay, so first one's first. This one isn't shocking to me at all. 1/4 of all candy purchased in the United States is purchased for Halloween.
A quarter?
A whole quarter of it.
I believe it.
A whole quarter
Yeah, I
of
believe
all candy in the U.S. is purchased for Halloween.
I'm surprised by that because Christmas, you buy a lot of candy for Christmas.
You don't buy nearly as much candy for Christmas as you would for Halloween because of
Yeah.
trick-or-treating.
That's fair.
Yeah, because people buy like multiple bags of candy
Yeah.
for trick-or-treating
The
specifically.
majority of my candy is bought the day after that of Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Because that's when it's on sale.
That's valid.
I like to call that cheap chocolate day. It is my second favorite holiday after Halloween.
I really don't buy candy that much. I'm not a huge fan of candy.
What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
Hey, it's okay. My boyfriend doesn't like chocolate at all.
Ew, nasty.
I know. I don't know why I'm with him.
Can't believe them. Anyway,
Okay.
so speaking of candy though, candy corn. I love candy corn.
You either
There's
love it
so
or
many-
you hate it.
There's
There is
so
no
many
in
people that
between.
hate it, and I don't get it.
It's like the pineapple on pizza situation. You either love it or you hate it.
Disgraceful.
I love it too.
You're both disgraceful.
But we all three like candy corn.
We all three like candy
We all
corn.
three like candy corn.
But yeah, so candy corn.
Pick your friends based off of if they like candy corn or not.
True. If they don't like them, kick them out of your house.
Okay, now wait a minute. You have to, if you don't like pineapple on pizza, that's okay. I have no issue with people who don't like pineapple on pizza. My issue is with people who think that pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, like it shouldn't be a thing.
You're one of those. She's one of those.
Okay, I won't hate you if you do it.
Good, because it's delicious.
It's just that if you eat pineapple on pizza in my presence, I will vomit.
I have eaten pineapple on pizza in your presence, and you didn't. Yes, and
I
you
literally
didn't
don't
vomit.
remember that.
The first episode we ever recorded, Jersey Devil, we ordered pizza, and my pizza had pineapple and I think mushrooms on it.
How do you remember that?
I have no idea.
I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. Did I even eat
I remember
breakfast?
what we had for breakfast that morning, because we had the horrible coffee run.
Yeah.
We got coffee, and they gave us
I
the
remember
bad
you guys
creamers.
brought me. You guys brought me creamers.
Yeah, the creamer was expired, and it was nasty.
Nasty. Gas station employees, check your creamers.
Well,
It wasn't a gas station, that was a restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not going to name the restaurant, because that wouldn't be very nice,
Professional.
but...
They were rotten. They were rotten creamers.
Yeah. And the lady
You
was
look
rude
so
to me
hot
when
right
I
now.
complained about it.
Thank you.
Close his laptop.
Thanks.
Anyway, so yeah.
Check out our Patreon.
Candy corn. So yeah, candy corn, getting back on topic, was originally called chicken feed.
That's so weird.
I mean, it looks like chicken. Oh, I will say that it looks like chicken feed.
If corn took heroin.
Yeah, so it was originally called chicken feed, and it was created in the 1880s.
Wow, candy corn is that old? What is that?
What is happening?
Is your house haunted, Blake?
Probably. This will work.
Appropriate.
But no, so anyway, it was created in the... Sorry, I thought I heard it again.
No, that was the chair squeaking. I moved.
It's created in the 1880s by a guy named George Renninger, and sold by the Golitz Confectionery Company, now Jelly Bean Company, or Jelly Belly Company.
I just assumed that it was always Brock's, because Brock's is the best candy corn you can get. Not to product place, but it is.
It was originally sold by the Golitz Confectionery Company, which is now called the Jelly Belly Company. So actually, the guys that produced jelly beans, they are the guys that originally...
It's the same people who do Birdie's Bots.
Yeah.
Birdie Bots.
Yeah.
Any flavor beans. Harry Potter.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's a really interesting fact.
Yeah.
And another thing that's really not surprising, but Halloween is the second highest grossing commercial holiday after Christmas.
Shocking.
I believe that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because
It's
literally, for me, I go straight from Halloween to Christmas.
Me too.
I'm one of those people that just skips Thanksgiving altogether.
See, my birthday falls around Thanksgiving, sometimes on Thanksgiving.
I mean, yeah, and I'll celebrate your birthday.
I have to acknowledge Thanksgiving.
I'll celebrate your birthday.
It's
I will
eat
not.
turkey on my birthday, and I love turkey. I would be a 100% vegan if it was not for turkey.
I don't need a holiday to eat turkey and stuff my face.
Yeah, same.
I need a holiday to cook a turkey.
Nah, I'm gonna still do it.
You're gonna cook a whole turkey?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
next
a lot of work.
next time you cook a turkey, I would like some, please.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm probably going to be holding Thanksgiving at my house, so.
I would like some leftover turkey, please.
Absolutely, baby.
Thank you.
Okay.
I only get turkey like once a year, so.
So yeah, and then another really interesting fact. In Des Moines, Iowa, the night
Yes,
before...
Moinies.
You just got glared at.
It's a fun town to say the wrong way.
I hate you. It's like people calling it Cairo instead of Cairo, Illinois.
Oh,
Cairo
God.
is in Egypt. It is.
But, so anyway, in Des Moines...
I
I can't do that with the mic right there. That needs to be the thumbnail.
Yes, that's the thumbnail right there.
Okay, but anyway, so... I'm not going to say it again because you're going to mess it up again.
So in Iowa.
The night before Halloween, not Iowa. It's not all of Iowa. It's only this city.
That particular city that we're not going to name again.
Say it again.
Okay.
The night before Halloween is called Beggar's Night.
I've heard that, yeah.
And kids are required to tell a joke, recite a poem, or perform some kind of trick to earn their treats. So whenever
Hence the trick or treat.
Yeah, so whenever they go up to the doors on the night before Halloween, not on Halloween, the night before Halloween, they go up to the door and they knock on the door, and then they have to tell a joke, perform, or do something, basically, in order to receive treats back. This was started in 1938 as a way to prevent vandalism.
It's a tad ableist, though.
A tad, yes. However, I mean, it doesn't really take, because there's multiple things that you could do, so it's not necessarily just doing something physical
or doing
doing
something.
something.
Section of a Miss America competition. There's multiple things you could do.
Yeah, there's multiple things that you could do. You could dance, you could just tell a joke. I mean, even like the kids who like truly can't do anything, if they even just
jokes
try.
count?
Yeah. I mean, literally the whole thing, like a lot of the jokes that are told are just dad jokes. Like really stupid dad jokes.
It's my kind of joke.
It's my favorite kind of joke. If you guys listen to the Jersey Devil episode, you know how Kalie feels about dad jokes.
I mostly like jokes that aren't actually jokes at all.
If April showers,
like my face.
Hey guys.
See?
If April brings showers, what do May flowers bring?
If April rain brings May showers, what May flowers bring? Pilgrims. Yeah, sorry.
Oh my god.
You couldn't have just let me say the joke. Couldn't let me have We can cut that part out and you can do it.
Okay.
Okay?
No,
we'll
I'm
just
not
cut. But yeah,
Okay.
it's fine.
No, it's not gonna be as funny.
Yeah, well.
This is not at all a do-over.
This is not at all a do-over. No, we're not gonna say it now. She ruined this. I'm upset. Oh wait, no, I have another one. I have another one.
Yeah.
So, how many hipsters does it take to change a light bulb? You don't know?
No.
I don't know. The number's pretty obscure. You probably wouldn't know it.
Oh my god.
Oh god, look at the laugh.
I'm gonna cry and go dig a hole and like get in it now.
That was pretty good.
I'm gonna be a great dad someday.
That was pretty good.
That was good.
That was good. That
Oh,
was funny. I actually did not come up with that. That was from a book. Anyway,
Like, did I tell you about the really good joke that AJ did a couple months ago?
probably not.
We had gotten I think McDonald's or something, and he was like pulling the fries out of the bag, and as he pulled the fries out of the bag, they kind of like, we hit a bump or something because I was driving, and they kind of went like at his face, and he goes, I'm being assaulted. And I almost ran off the road.
So anyway,
That's pretty good. You gotta admit, that's pretty
Especially
good.
in the moment of, yeah.
did you guys know that Harry Houdini died on Halloween in 1926?
I did, that's
I
true.
did not know that.
He died of appendicitis brought on by 3 punches to the stomach.
Yep.
I did know that.
Yeah, on Halloween in 1926.
How did he do that?
He had a thing where
Yeah.
he could survive a punch to the stomach, no problem, but he had to get ready for it. And the guy was like, "Hey, I understand that you can, you punched in the stomach and it's fine." And he's like, "Yeah, actually I can't." And the guy didn't wait. He just Sucker
3
punched him.
times, too. Mexico celebrates Dia de los Muertos, which is on November 1st and November 2nd. And it is also a time that is used to commemorate the dead. They don't do, like, Halloween or anything like that.
That's
and
a holiday
so,
I love too.
Yeah, Dia de los Muertos is actually really interesting. It's a really cool holiday to actually research.
I think it's beautiful.
It's an absolutely beautiful holiday. It truly is. There are currently some movies on it, some that are far more accurate than others. They're cute in their own ways, but like obviously they don't actually portray the holiday in the way that
I think I watched a couple of them with you.
Yeah, The Book of Life.
And
I remember.
Coco.
Yeah, and Coco. Yeah, Coco was
That's
a really
really
cute
cute.
movie.
I just haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you
Oh,
love
you
it.
gotta
You
watch
love
it.
it.
It's so cute.
It's adorable.
I just haven't gone around to it.
Ooh, let's talk about Halloween deaths. So, in multiple
You
cases...
mean besides Houdini?
Yeah, besides Houdini. So, these are actually really sad, so be prepared. In 1974, there was an 8-year-old boy, his name was Timothy O'Brien, and he died of cyanide poisoning after eating Halloween candy. Detectives started looking at all of the people in the neighborhood, trying to figure out who would have put cyanide into Halloween candy.
Yeah.
And they
How
checked,
did you put cyanide into Halloween candy?
like, the candies were, like, baked or altered in some way, or you could also inject it. Which is actually how they poison a lot of Halloween candy, which is why you should always check the wrappering for any small punctures or holes or anything like that, because they can basically take a needle and inject whatever kind of poison they want to into the packaging, being really careful.
I'm not having kids.
Yeah, but so detectives start trying to figure out who would have made this candy and everything. But they later learned that his father had taken out a $20,000 life insurance policy on each of his 2 children, and he actually had also tried to poison his daughter.
What is wrong with people?
What a piece of crap.
Yeah, so his father was like arrested and apprehended for the crime.
Good.
And like he did end up spending time in prison. I can't remember how much time he's ended up spending in prison. I want to say it was for the rest of his life.
I should hope so.
I can't quite remember if it was or not. But yeah, so that was one of the deaths. And then another one of the deaths that I wanted to bring up because of the whole like checking your kids' Halloween candy thing. There was another boy who ended up dying earlier than this. I think it was in the 1960s. He ended up passing away because his uncle had made candy that had heroin in it.
Oh my god.
And so somehow this boy ended up getting a hold of this candy.
It takes edible to a whole new level.
And eating this candy. And so basically the police were trying to figure out how this boy got a hold of this candy. And then they ended up learning that the uncle had made this candy with heroin in it. Not for the boy. It wasn't intended to kill the boy. It was an accidental thing, but he was just too guilty about it to come forward at first. And so they ended up finding it out on their own. The uncle ended up going to prison. So always check your candy. Don't put heroin or drugs in candy. So yeah, those are actually some deaths that happened on Halloween.
Stay tuned for part 2 when we talk about our own Halloween traditions. I'm Kalie.
I'm Rachelle.
And I'm Blake.
And we were
Paranoia Percentage.
You can find us on Twitter at Paranoia Percent, Tumblr as PDubs Podcast, and Facebook and Instagram as Paranoia Percentage.